Canadians, Torontonians, up Northerners. I'm Akil Augustine. This is the Hangout. I know you like that, Gareth. And we are talking Raptors basketball. This is your Raptors update this week. Your Toronto Raptors just did some work with the Atlanta Hawks, putting them down double digits. This is Gareth Wheeler, Gary Durant, and of course, if you're a Raptors fan, you know Dan Gladman. He produces the games. So the question is, coming off that big win against the fourth-place team in the conference, the Atlanta Hawks, giving yourself a full game difference. Looking ahead to the second half of the season, what do the Toronto Raptors need to do to leave Group 3 to 15 and enter that other group, that really super elite group of Team 1 and 2 in the Eastern Conference, who happen to be the Indiana Pacers and the Miami Heat?
First off, 28-24 at the All-Star break. I don't think anyone could have said that they saw that coming. It's been a fantastic run. But I don't know if there's anything they can do to jump up with the likes of the Pacers and the Heat. That's no disrespect to the Raptors or anything that they're doing. I think that we just have kind of seen what this team can be in a very weak Eastern Conference. As long as the Raptors do not make a significant trade at the trade deadline to take a piece away from this current group, I think you're going to see them very much in the conversation 3, 4, 5 in the conference, and I think it's fine. I think that that is still above anyone's expectations of what we thought that this ball club could have been.
Gareth, that's such a Canadian thing, a Toronto thing, to accept, look, nothing.
You think they can make the jump?
Nothing. We have to try. Nothing.
Of course they're going to try. But I live in reality, Gary, reality.
Okay, so what the Raptors need to do, in my opinion, if anything, is make sure that they don't unload someone like a Laurie, who should have been an all-star, but do take advantage of teams that are going to have to tank in the second half of the season, so to speak, like the aforementioned Detroit Pistons. Greg Monroe plays the exact same position as a guy they brought in, Josh Smith, who pays a lot,
max money,
who's getting max money. While we may not be able to go after Josh Smith, Greg Monroe is a very competent scorer, right? Someone that we could definitely use and someone that pushes us over the hump.
So gives us need to make a move.
Yes, well, and I'm saying, I don't expect them to give up one of our formidable pieces for it, but somebody like a Tyler Hansbrough.
All cost, though.
Monroe can score, but there's numbers that will prove he's one of the poorest defenders in the league at his position. But that would upset. Last night, driving home from the game, I was listening to my favorite radio station, TSN 1050. Okay, I'm listening to the post-game show, Jim Taddy and our man Sweets Watson.
Sweets!
And one thing that came up on that show is they're 28-24 at the All-Star break. Nobody would have, like you said, Gareth, nobody would have predicted that. Nobody could have expected it. And now that they're here, oh, well, we want more. Let's manage the expectations. Miami and Indiana were in the East Finals last year. Miami's won the last 2 titles, and Indiana has taken a similar road to where they are as the Raptors. Rome isn't built in a day. Let's focus on gunning for that 3rd spot, winning the division. And I'm talking about the fans here. I'm not talking about the team. The team knows what they're doing. But as Raptors fans, and in some of our cases, Raptors employees, if they could finish 3rd or 4th in the conference, if they could win the division, get some playoff experience. You know, these guys, nobody on the team has even played in a playoff game or has decent playoff experience. So to target Miami and Indiana right now, unrealistic. To say, let's get a home court in the playoffs in the first round, very realistic goal at this point. That's what they should be focused on.
And especially not rocking the boat and just making sure that they don't sacrifice anything in terms of the long-term build of this team. Because that's what you hear from Ujiri, Lewicki, and company, is that they're taking the long view approach here. This is going to take some time for them to become part of that same conversation with the likes of the best teams in the NBA. Look, this year has been a great step. It's been great for the city. Seeing the way like guys like DeMar and Kyle and even JV, they've really stepped up and shown what they can do. You know, you want to see a little bit more consistency from JV, but he's only in the 2nd year of the league. Point is that this is a process here, and I don't see any benefit in rushing the process. You got to see it as year one.
I'm all for patience, but I don't like this complacent approach. I think that we're always trying. We should always. I'm an aggressive person. I think we should always.
He's aggressive. He's aggressive in his wardrobe choices. He's aggressive on the court. That's Gary Durant. That's my guy Dan Gladman, and this is Gareth Wheeler, one of my favorite people in the world, one of the best guys on radio. Man, you bring the heat. This has been the Raptors Roundup. I'm Akil Augustine. Watch the Hangout.